Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Angel Lives. So you guys, how's everybody doing out there? I hope that everybody has had a good weekend. I hope that it hasn't been too stressful. So tonight, you guys, I'm going to delve into something that I've been talking about a little bit, but not really going into detail about it. And I know that I don't have to do this, but for me, I have to. It's a very personal thing for me. I'm gonna try to hold it together and not cry, but it's something that I feel that I need to talk about, especially with my subscribers and those that I've become pretty familiar with and pretty friendly with, and also because I want to be transparent. I don't want there to be I'm honest. I'm an open book. I know that some things people feel like you should keep to yourself, but at some point some things are going to become public knowledge whether you want them to or not. So I feel like I might as well put it out here before anybody else gets a chance to, and I'm not trying to act like a celebrity or anything of that nature. It's just that I feel like sometimes, eventually somebody's going to say something. So I would like to be the one to say what needs to be said. So, as some of you may know, earlier this year, the beginning part of the year, January, my husband made the decision that he was going to relocate to Texas. I wasn't happy about it. I didn't want him to go because I felt like our foundation was unstable, and I felt that it wasn't going to be a good thing for the marriage and for either of us. I wasn't happy about it. I didn't want him to go. However, he's an adult, so he has to make his own decisions. Well, I felt that he didn't consider us as a whole before he made the decision. So anyways, he decided to leave. He left on January 17th, to be exact. And when he left, I was not happy because he didn't give me a lot of details about where he was going to be staying, exactly when the job interview was going to be, because he left to pursue work, which is what he told me. The day that he left, he didn't want me to take him to the airport, which made me feel some kind of way, because I felt like, why wouldn't the husband want his wife to take him to the airport? Like, what's going on here? But anyways, I said, okay, fine. That's how you want it. Go ahead. Well, once he got there, he called me the next day and let me know where he was and let me know where he was staying. And he said the interview was going to be that Monday, and that they told him that he would know something within a week or two. He should know for sure if he got the job or not. So I said, okay, I tried to make sure that we talked every day. And even if I didn't get a chance to talk to him for whatever reason, I would at least send a text to let him know, hey, I love you. I hope everything is okay. He kind of wasn't communicating like I thought that he would have. It bothered me, but at the same time, I didn't want to assume that something was going on because I didn't know. I wanted to trust him, so I left it alone. So, he calls me a couple days later after the interview, and he said the interview went well and that he would know something. They told him he would know something soon. So another week goes by, and we're talking, and I'm asking him, what's going on? Did you hear anything? And he said, no, haven't heard anything yet. I'm looking for other work as well. I'm not just waiting on this one job. I am looking for work. I'm still looking for work in Vegas and here. The plan was if he got the job there, I would move there. I had already talked to my boss and kind of ironed out details as far as what would need to happen so that we could live in the same state. And everything was going to be fine on my end. Well, more time went by, about a month had gone by, and I was like, hey, what's up? What's happening here? Have you heard anything? No, I haven't heard anything. A month? I'm like, okay, that's kind of strange, a whole month and you haven't heard anything. And he said, yeah, I don't know what happened because I don't understand. They were supposed to be hiring on the spot. I said, well, yeah, I remember we talked about that. And so what's the plan? You know, what are you going to do? He says, well, you know, I only bought a one-way ticket. One-way ticket. Yes, I know. We had a not so nice disagreement about that. And I said, yeah, and that was a bad idea because now you need money to get a ticket. Well, at the time, things weren't great for us financially. Things were not great because we had moved September of last year, and it was a hard move. It was hard because it was like the landlord said, I want to renovate, you got to move. And so, and here, I don't know if anyone is familiar with the housing market here in Vegas, but it's not easy. A house can become available and then be gone within the next couple of hours. And so it was a lot of money, a lot of application fees, a lot for the deposit, a lot for, you know, first month's rent deposit, key charges, all these different things that you have to pay. So it was a lot of money. So we weren't in a great spot. So, you know, I had, you know, told him, well, we got to try to figure something out because do you want to come back? And he said to me, I do. I want to come back. And I said, okay, well, you know, we got to figure something out. So more time goes by. We're talking, we're communicating, but the communication was very sketchy. And it was kind of like sometimes we didn't even talk for like 3 or 4 days. It was like, wow, okay. All right. So then we had a conversation and I said to him, do you want me to buy your ticket for you to come back? I can just go ahead and get the ticket and, you know, so you could come back because I don't feel like it's a good situation for us to continue to be living separate from each other. And you know, we talked about it. I asked him, how do you feel about the marriage? How do you feel about us? Do you want the marriage? Of course I want the marriage. Why do you know, and it would always turn into an argument, leaving me in tears. And it was kind of like, okay, I don't want to go into this. I don't want to go through this anymore. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to keep allowing you to make me cry though, because I haven't done anything other than be a wife and do what I'm supposed to do. I'm home where I'm supposed to be, and you're miles and miles away in another state. And, you know, he told me everything's going to be okay. You're reading meaning into too much. You're acting like I left you and I didn't. Okay. But in a sense you did, because you were only supposed to be gone until you got the job. And if you didn't get the job, you were supposed to be back home. And at this point, about 3-4 months had gone by. Fast forward to March of this year. No, April of this year. It was April of 2019. I needed to I feel like this is like out of a soap opera or something. It's really, I'm not laughing because it's really not funny. I can't even, when I think back how everything kind of played out, I can't even believe it. But anyways, I go to use my debit card. Now, mind you, we had a joint account. Go to use my debit card to make a payment online, and it declines. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I know there's money in the bank. What's happening here? So I go check my account. Of course, money's in the bank. I call Verizon. It was for my cell phone bills. I said, what's going on? I can't use my card. It's declining. They said, you need to contact your bank because it could be an issue with the zip code. I'm like, an issue with the zip code? I haven't changed my address since I moved in September. So I'm like, oh, this is weird. So I call the bank. Lovely Wells Fargo. They said to me, someone changed the address. I said, someone changed the address? What do you mean? She said, someone changed the address on the account. And I'm like, I didn't change the address. Who changed the address on my account? And she said, well, it was the other account holder. Is that your spouse? I said, yeah, that's my husband. She said, he changed the address. I said, changed it to what? Changed it to what? She said, I can't give you that information because if you're not aware of it, then that means that the other account holder didn't want it to be the information to be given to you. I'm like, what you mean? Okay. Okay. So she says, but if you go to your address, your previous address, if you go to your address history, you'll see it. I said, all right. So I hang up. I go look. It's an address here in Vegas. And I'm like, what is going on? It's not his brother's address because he has his twin brother lives here in Vegas. I said, what's going on here? What is this about? So I pull the address up on White Pages because I want to see whose address this is. Well, it was a female. And as I'm looking at the address, it's all coming back to me because I had helped him fill out a job application and he listed this person as a reference. And I questioned him then, like, who is this person? Like, why, who is she? Oh, she's a friend. And it was like, she's a friend of my brother's and she said I could use her as a reference. Yeah, okay, that sounds really stupid, but whatever. So I said to him, now mind you, I get off the phone with the bank. I'm steaming, I'm crying, and I was at work, so I had to leave because I was really like, there was no way I could focus on work anymore. I call him and I say to him, what is going on? Now he's not answering me, so I'm leaving him voicemails. I'm texting him like, you really need to call me back now because I need to know what's going on. Finally, he calls me and tells me he was asleep, and that's why he didn't respond to the text because he was asleep. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, they changed the address on the account. He says to me, what do you mean? I said, they changed the address on the account. That's what I mean. And he says to me, I changed the address on my account, not on the joint account. I said, well, it changed it on all accounts. And they said that happens when you do that. If you're an account holder, it changes it on all of the accounts that you're an account holder on. I said, but let's put that aside. Why did you change your address to another woman's address? I can do whatever I want to do. I don't want you looking at my bank statement. That's not what you want to say to your wife. It's not what you want to say to your wife of almost 8 years. You don't want to say that. So I was upset and I actually started crying. So I just hung up because I was like, this is not, I can't do this. Like, really, what is going on? So after that incident, I didn't talk to him for probably more than a week. He called, but I chose not to answer because I didn't even know how to process him saying that to me. And so fast forward to about June, July, he was, we weren't communicating. It was just like, I got to make a decision. I have to make a decision. I cannot continue this way. It wasn't a decision that I arrived at easily. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry. I was really, I'm trying not to cry because I don't want my eyelashes to fall off. I was really upset. I was hurt. I was hurt. I felt rejected. I felt like I've done everything. I've been there for this man. I've been a wife to this man. How could he do this to me? So I reached out to a friend of mine and I said to her, and I had been talking to some people that I'm very close to, and they said to me, Angel, he abandoned you. He abandoned you. And he's pretending that he didn't. And it was like, yeah, basically he did. He abandoned me. I reached out to him again because I said, this isn't cool. This isn't okay. Like, you need to tell me what it is you want to do because I feel like you're trying to put my life on hold. I've put my life on hold for you for long enough, and I need to know what it is you want to do. He says to me, why are you saying this? Why are you always bringing up divorce? I don't want to get a divorce. Listen, you chose to leave. I didn't choose this. I would have never wanted it to be this way. ever, not ever. And for anybody that has criticism or feels like I didn't do what I was supposed to do, say whatever you want to say. You don't know. You don't know what I went through. You don't know the sacrifices that I made to keep my marriage together. Only to be treated like I didn't matter and I wasn't good enough. And so it has now been almost a year. Next month will be a year since the last time I seen this man. I have not heard from him since probably September. And I'm okay with that because at this point, it is what it is, you know. It's done. It's done. And I want to say this to any women out there that may be going through a similar situation. Don't blame yourself, especially if you know that you've done all that you could do. Don't blame yourself. If your husband has been unfaithful to you, you have grounds scripturally to divorce him. And at this point, it's abandonment. He abandoned me. He's gone. And I'm filing for divorce. I have to file the divorce with abandonment because he won't give me the address to where he's staying. But I just want to say to any woman or any man that's even going through this, know your worth. You are better than what they're trying to put you through. And if it comes to where it needs to be a divorce, then it has to happen. You need to make it a matter of prayer and do what you need to do and just move on. Don't beat yourself up. Don't blame yourself. Seek counseling because I feel that it's necessary to seek counseling. Talk to someone, even if it's over the phone. Most employers have an employee assistance program where you can sign up for counseling. You can talk to someone, but don't let it break you. Because at one point I almost let it break me, and it has made me very bitter. And I'm being very honest. It has made me bitter. I don't feel that all men are the same, but I do feel that the one that I picked, he just wasn't right. And I will never say that I didn't love him, because I did. I loved him with everything that I had in me. And I probably still love him. I know I can't even say probably. I know that I still have love for him, but I'm not in love with him. We've been apart too long for the love to even have grown. The love, it fell away. It's gone because you left. You chose to leave. So I just wanted to do this video just to tell my truth and what really happened. He left. Bottom line, he left. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Please give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified. Drop me a comment. Any words of encouragement you want to give me, I'd appreciate it. And I will talk to y'all later.